Welcome to Python with a Worldview. Today we're going to focus on computer memory and data types. Specifically, we're going to look at three foundational data types in Python: int, float, and string. We're going to ask four questions. What is computer memory? What are data types? What are variables? And how does a computer store different types of data into memory? The verse that I chose for this lesson is 2 Corinthians 4:18. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen, since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. I chose this verse because it's so fitting for what we're talking about today. The programmer doesn't see data types. The programmer doesn't see computer memory. And yet all of it is very real. It's something we have to know how it works and what to do with it when something goes wrong. Now, the verse itself is talking about gazing our eyes upon Jesus. We fix our eyes on what is not seen, His promises, who God is, and what He has done for us, and the great promises that we have in Christ Jesus. Those are the things that are unseen. Let's go to our first question. What is computer memory? Computer memory is a block of addresses that store information in the form of bits, bytes, kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes, and on and on. Think of a rectangle. Let this rectangle in your imagination represent the memory that a computer has. If something does not exist inside this rectangle, then as far as the computer is concerned, it does not exist at all. The operating system will take up a good portion of this memory, so a big chunk of the rectangle is reserved just for the operating system. When you open idle, a memory block is reserved for the programmer and all other programs that idle uses. Other programs running on your computer will also be given a block of memory in which to operate and perform instructions and calculations. When you close a program, also known as an application, the memory for that application is cleared, and most operating systems are sophisticated enough to manage the memory so that storage is more efficient. Later, we will focus our attention on the memory block reserved just for idle. But now, let's proceed on to the next question. What is a data type? A data type is an attribute of data that tells the computer and the interpreter how the programmer intends to meaningfully use that data. Now, in this lesson, we are only going to focus our attention in this presentation on three of the fundamental data types in Python. They are int, float, and string. Let's talk about int. An int, or an integer, is a data type that represents a countable number. Examples of integers are 5, 8, -3, -34, 56,456,432, -56,446, and even the number 0. So a good working definition of an integer for us would be the following. An integer in Python is a countable number, either positive, negative, or 0. Extra emphasis is on countable. That is, a number which is a whole number, positive or negative or 0. A float is a data type that represents a number with a decimal place value. Examples of floats are 3.14159, -2.567, 123.984, 5.00, -34.569, 9.0, and even 0.0. A good working definition for us would be a float in Python is a number that has a decimal place value. It can be positive or negative or 0. While it does not affect us in this course, it is worth mentioning that some programming languages give decimal numbers more than one data type, depending on the level of accuracy the programmer wants. For example, in C++, the number 3.1415 would be stored into a float, and that would contain 4 bytes of memory, while the number 45.67543446543 would be stored into another data type called a double, and that would use 8 bytes of memory. Python makes no distinction in decimal numbers, so there is no double data type in float. Python simply uses float to represent all levels of accuracy. Well, finally, we have the string data type. In Python, the best way to think about the string data type is to think of text. Any characters or string of characters like phrases or sentences can be stored into a string. Examples of strings would be lowercase k, my name is John, or the sentence, today is the day I make my bed. The following declarations would be string data types in Python. Name equals John. Letter equals lowercase p. Address equals 123 Main Street, Binary Drive, Bitville, Maine, 04455. Now, notice in Python that you can surround a string with double quotes or single quotes. Python is very forgiving. What you can't do is you can't begin with one and end with the other. So if you begin with a double quote, you have to end with a double quote. If you begin with a single quote, you have to end with a single quote. And if something is not surrounded with quotation symbols, then it's not a string in Python. That's important to know. Now, Python makes no real distinction between lowercase k and hello world. They're both strings as far as Python is concerned. However, this is not the case for most programming languages. The name string gets its name for historical reasons. In the heyday of computing, the early days, there was no string data type. You had to use an integer mapping method called ASCII to represent characters from the alphabet as integers. Therefore, 75 would represent a capital K, while 107 would represent lowercase k. Eventually, programming languages came up with a new data type, char, which was short for character. The char data type was an easier way of representing a character from the keyboard. To get a sentence, however, you had to put a whole list or, do you see it? String of these character values together. Sometimes a list in computer science is also called an array, but there is a distinction between the two sometimes, so let's not get bogged down into that. Here's a string of characters that says hello John. Hello is the first character and the period is the last character. If you calculate the length of this string, you'll get 12. Count out the boxes and you should have 12 boxes. So the concept of the length of a string will also be important later in the course, although we're not really going to get very deeply into it now. Finally, computer hardware and software became more efficient, cost-effective, and reliable so that programmers would eventually create the string data type. This made life even simpler for programmers. Let's move on to our third question. What is a variable? In computer science, a variable is a name or identifier that contains or points to a value with a specific data type. If you ever get into professional computing circles, you'll probably hear the term identifier more frequently than you will the term variable. But for all intended purposes, they mean the same thing. Examples of variable declarations are x equals 5, name equals John P, life meter equals 100, bank balance equals 567.89. In the example listed above, the variables, which are identifiers, their names are x, name, life meter, and bank balance. X and life meter have a data type of int. Name has a data type of string, while bank balance has a data type of float. Finally, our last question. How does a computer store different data types into memory? So remember, this is a very simplified example. Let's say the user at the prompt or the shell types in x equals 5. Now in idle, there's a section of memory reserved for the shell session. And in the shell session, you're going to store your variable names that you declare in the shell. But there are also memory locations or blocks stored for integer values, float values, and string values. So when the user types in x equals 5 in the shell, the name or the identifier x is stored in the shell session block of memory. Inside of that is an address that points to the location in the integer memory block where the value 5 is stored. Let's say that same user types in name equals John P. Then the variable name is stored in the shell session. And inside of that memory block is an address which points to a location in the string memory block where John P is located. And so this is a very elementary introduction to how a computer stores different types of data into memory. So that's the sum of our lesson today. We've answered the 4 questions. What is a computer? What are data types? What are variables? And how does a computer store different types of data into memory? God bless you, wherever you are today.